She thought she was leaving the ranch forever, but one crack across the frozen mountain changed both their lives in a single heartbeat. As Naomi pulled an injured cowboy from beneath his fallen horse, he whispered words that would stay with her forever. But what did they really mean? To discover what happened next, watch the full story till the end, and don't forget to subscribe to our page for more unforgettable Wild West stories. Before we start the story, tell me in the comments where are you listening from and what time is right now. Snow covered every road leading into Red Cedar Basin. The wind was so cold that it hurt to breathe. Naomi Brooks stepped down from the stagecoach with only one small canvas bag. Everything she owned was inside it. 2 dresses, her mother's old Bible, a tin comb, and a letter promising honest work as a housekeeper in Wyoming. She looked around hopefully until a tall man walked toward her. "You are Naomi Brooks?" "Yes, sir." He looked at her for a long moment. Then his face changed. "I wasn't told you were colored." Naomi's smile disappeared. "I can work," she said quietly. "I came all the way from Missouri." The man turned away. "I've changed my mind." "Sir, I spent everything to get here." He never looked back. Within minutes, Naomi was completely alone. The station slowly became empty as people hurried inside warm buildings. Snow landed on her shoulders, while hungry laughter came from the boarding house across the street. A few drunken men stared at her. "Looks like she won't survive the night." One of them walked closer. "You need somewhere warm?" His smile made Naomi uncomfortable. She held her bag tightly but said nothing. Just then, the soft sound of sleigh bells echoed through the storm. A gray horse pulled a wooden sleigh toward the station. The driver climbed down. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark ranch coat covered with snow. His weathered face remained calm beneath his cowboy hat. A little girl sat beside him under thick buffalo blankets. The cowboy looked at the drunk man. "You finished?" His voice was quiet, but something about it made every man step back. The stranger walked away without another word. The cowboy turned to Naomi. "You heading somewhere?" She looked at the crumpled letter in her hand. "I thought I was." "No family here?" She shook her head. "No money?" Another small shake. Without saying anything else, the cowboy removed his heavy coat and placed it over her shoulders. Warmth wrapped around her like a forgotten memory. "I can't take this." "You can until we get home." She looked at him in surprise. "Home?" Instead of answering, he carefully lifted the little girl into Naomi's arms. "Hold her for a minute." The child rested her head against Naomi's shoulder almost immediately. "So warm," the little girl whispered. Naomi closed her eyes. No one had trusted her this quickly in years. "My name is Eli Mercer," the cowboy said. "Naomi Brooks." "I've got work, if you're willing." "I don't mind work." "There will be rules." "I understand." An hour later, the sleigh stopped in front of a quiet ranch surrounded by snow-covered cedar trees. Behind the main house stood a small log cabin. A lantern already burned beside the door. Fresh firewood had been stacked neatly outside. The steps had been swept clean. It didn't look abandoned. It looked prepared. Eli noticed her staring. "That cabin is yours." "You prepared it?" "I keep it ready." "For who?" He looked toward the little cabin. "For someone who might need it." That night, Naomi slept under a safe roof for the first time in many months. The next morning, she woke before sunrise. No one told her what to do. She simply noticed things that needed care. She repaired a torn curtain. She washed dishes. She cleaned the porch. She rubbed leather saddles until they shined again. She never waited to be asked. Every morning, Eli quietly left hot water ready. Every evening, another pile of split firewood appeared outside her cabin. Neither of them thanked the other. They simply understood. Little Emma hardly spoke. She had lost her mother long ago. But every day she followed Naomi a little closer. First while feeding chickens, then while baking cornbread, then while gathering eggs. One morning, flour landed on Naomi's nose. Emma almost smiled. Outside the kitchen window, Eli saw it. For the first time in many months, his daughter looked happy. A week later, they rode into town together. Inside the general store, whispers followed Naomi everywhere. "She's the woman staying at Mercer Ranch." "Only temporary." Outside, another rancher laughed at Eli. "Didn't expect you to bring company home." Eli said nothing. The ride back felt colder than the snow around them. That night, Naomi quietly packed her bag. Maybe she had mistaken kindness for acceptance. Before sunrise, she reached for her boots. They were gone. She followed tiny footprints through the snow. Emma sat behind the woodshed, hiding both boots beneath a blanket. The little girl's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't want you to leave." Naomi knelt beside her. "You knew?" Emma nodded. "I heard you packing." Naomi gently brushed snow from the child's mitten. "I'm still here." Emma held her hand for only a second before running back to the house. But deep inside, Naomi's heart had already begun calling the ranch home. A few days later, Naomi quietly packed her bag again. This time, she left before sunrise. She believed she would never truly belong at Mercer Ranch. As she walked through the deep snow toward the mountain pass, strong footsteps followed behind. It was Eli. "You don't have to leave," he called. "I can't stay," Naomi answered without turning around. "I already know what happens when people decide I'm too much trouble." Before Eli could reply, a loud crack echoed across the mountain. A huge rock broke loose. His horse slipped on the icy trail, throwing him hard onto the frozen ground. One leg became trapped beneath the saddle. "Eli!" Naomi ran back without thinking. Ignoring the freezing wind, she pulled at the heavy saddle until she finally freed him. His leg was badly hurt. "We need shelter," she said. Supporting his weight with her shoulder, Naomi slowly guided him through the snow until they found an abandoned trapper's cabin. Inside, she lit a fire, dried their wet clothes, and wrapped his injured leg with strips of clean cloth. For a long time, neither of them spoke. Finally, Eli broke the silence. "I should have spoken in town." Naomi looked into the fire. "I thought your silence meant you agreed with them." He slowly shook his head. "No. If I had fought them, they would have taken their anger out on you." His voice became softer. "I've already lost too many people. I wasn't willing to lose you, too." Naomi looked at him with tears in her eyes. For the first time, She understood him. Together they returned to the ranch before sunset, but someone was already waiting. Hank Dillard sat on his horse with 2 other men. He smiled coldly. "That woman stole my ranch ledger." He pointed directly at Naomi. "You have 3 days to return it." Then he rode away. After that, strange things began happening. Fence gates were cut open. Feed sacks were slashed. Horses wandered away during the night. Someone wanted the family to live in fear. Neither Eli nor Naomi complained. They simply repaired every damage together. Then another disaster came. Emma became seriously ill. A heavy snowstorm blocked every road. The doctor could not reach the ranch. Naomi stayed beside Emma all night. She brewed willow bark, honey, and herbs just as her mother had taught her. She cooled the little girl's forehead again and again. She never closed her eyes. Near sunrise, Emma's fever finally broke. The little girl slowly opened her eyes. She reached for Naomi. "Mama?" The room became completely silent. Naomi froze. Eli lowered his head. Neither of them corrected her, because deep inside, it already felt true. That evening, Naomi carefully changed the bandage on Eli's shoulder. As she finished, she tried to pull her hand away. Eli gently held it. His eyes met hers. Then he whispered, "Every breath you take belongs to me." Naomi looked confused. Eli smiled softly. "I don't mean I own you. I mean I'll spend the rest of my life making sure no one ever steals your peace, your freedom, or your smile again." Tears filled Naomi's eyes. She gently touched his weathered face. Their first kiss was quiet, slow, and full of trust. Outside, the storm finally ended. The next morning, Sheriff Amos arrived. Naomi was ordered to appear before the Red Cedar Town Council for theft. On Saturday, the small church was filled with people. Hank proudly accused Naomi of stealing his business ledger. Everyone waited for her answer. Instead of arguing, Naomi quietly opened the hidden lining inside her old canvas bag. She carefully removed the missing ledger. "I didn't steal it," she said calmly. "I protected it." The church became silent. Page after page exposed Hank's crimes. He had cheated widows. He had stolen ranches. He had changed payment records and hidden the truth for years. Mrs. Finch recognized the handwriting immediately. Other ranchers stepped forward, one after another. Everything finally made sense. Sheriff Amos closed the ledger. "Hank Dillard, you're under arrest." For the first time, Hank had nothing to say. As he was led away, the people who once judged Naomi stepped aside with quiet respect. Outside the church, Mrs. Finch handed Naomi a warm loaf of bread. "You've earned your place here." Eli never spoke for Naomi. He never stood in front of her. He simply stayed beside her, making sure she never faced the world alone again. Back at the ranch, Eli removed the old wooden sign. It read, "Mercer Ranch." Then he nailed a new sign above the gate, "Mercer Family Ranch." Naomi looked at it with tears in her eyes. "You changed it." Eli smiled. "No, I completed it." Emma ran across the yard and hugged Naomi tightly. "We're home." Spring slowly arrived. Snow melted into clear streams. Green grass covered the valley once again. Neighbors came to Naomi for medicine and advice. Children waved whenever she visited town. Laughter returned to the ranch. One warm summer evening, Eli, Naomi, and Emma sat together on the front porch, watching the sun disappear behind the mountains. Emma slept peacefully in Naomi's lap. Eli quietly took Naomi's hand. Neither of them needed more words. Months earlier they had been strangers. Now they were a family built by kindness, trust, and love. Naomi had not found happiness because the world suddenly became fair. She found it because one man's compassion gave her the courage to trust again. And Eli did not heal because he forgot his past. He healed because he opened his heart to someone who chose to stay. Sometimes love is not a grand promise. Sometimes it is simply a warm coat on a freezing night, a hand that never lets go, and a quiet voice that says, "You're home." Thank you so much for watching this story all the way till the end. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. It really helps us a lot. If you want to watch more exciting stories like this, don't forget to subscribe our page right now. Tell me in the comments, where are you listening from, and what time is right now? And if this story touched your heart, please send some stars. Every single star gives us huge motivation to keep creating more amazing videos for you. See you in the next story. Take care of you, friends. Take